Hey everyone, welcome and thanks for tuning in. We are the Dharma Collective, a group of coaches trained and certified in all things Dharma. What it is, how you know it, find it, live it, be it. We offer this podcast to you in alignment with our own Dharmas. I am Amsa Natur with the Live Joy Lifestyle, and today we're gonna talk about what Dharma is. Dharma is service. I think what we all have in common here between the three of us is service is a core value for all of us.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, since Dharma is service, what is your Dharma, Mathura?
My Dharma is helping people and making an impact as much as possible and seeing directly that I have actually, inspired them in some way or another to reach their highest potential.
Yeah, beautiful. What about you, Gia?
My Dharma is to help us take off society's masks that we put on to situate into situations and expand our 4x4 boxes into whatever shape or size we like and allow our true self to be there. Why do we have to be cookie cut? We all have something unique.
Yeah.
Yes. And my Dharma, I believe, is to help bring more joy to the world. So I help people find their own joy and live in their own joy regularly, consistently, daily, joy as a lifestyle.
I love that. That's you. That's you all around
Yeah.
it.
I feel like that matches all of us. Everything that we feel is our Dharma, like that comes from inside. It is a unique way of serving, which is why when I say that, you're like, yeah. And when you say yours, it's like, yeah. And that's you. I see that. But with that, in our previous jobs or careers, how are you guys feeling about service and about your Dharma? Did that actually align or match for you?
My previous job and my current job don't align for me. Not because they're not ideal jobs. I think I had great jobs in HR and then a medical background, like all wrapped in one. It's just not ideal. It's not somewhere a thriving soul who doesn't want to put on a mask situates. Because when we, as collective, the three of us are ready to embark on the truth, there's a lot of people who are not ready. And in my field, not accepted. However, until such time, I'm still within a field, trying to live my Dharma as authentically as I can without allowing outside noises telling me to put back on the mask or mask.
So even though you are in a place where you technically serve, right? Like as your job, that's not necessarily the way that you're meant to serve.
No, like not to take up the time, but being in a medical profession, Westernly at least, they do not want to hear that pharmaceutical is not the way. And I don't disagree. Yes, there's sometimes we do need pharmaceuticals. However, there are sometimes where talking out a situation would save you more than popping a pill. Having someone to turn to rather than seeing the doctor 7 times a week because that's your only person to talk to. Admitting you need a person and not go to the doctor every week. Because technically, I've seen patients every week, sometimes 3 times a week. It's like therapy for them, but they don't want to admit they need therapy. And I'm not saying therapy is the best way. Maybe coaching, maybe having an ear. It's not normal for people. It's not normal for anybody.
Yeah.
And you, Amsa, how do you feel with that? Like your current or past previous jobs, it wasn't soul aligning for you, not Dharma aligning.
Well, I don't know if many people know this, but my career has been as a professional dancer in the entertainment industry in LA. And so when I used to think of LA or the entertainment industry, aside from the fact that I wanted to be there because I wanted to dance, I think like, oh, there's a bunch of rich people and a bunch of what's it called? Like really sleazy type people. Like entertainment is gross and it's not, like just all kinds of negative things about entertainment.
Mm.
And yet I want to be there because I want to dance. And that's like all I wanted to do is dance. And I I didn't let that stop me, that feeling. I still went with it because honestly, I really didn't know what else there was for me to do. I just felt like this is what I got. And I went with the flow. I was a dance major in college, and then I transitioned because I got an opportunity. So I was offered an agent and I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go with that. So I start auditioning and I start working. And within about a year of being in the industry, I went on a reality TV show. And I was on this show with my friends, and it was in the comment section of like the posts from our performances and like our YouTube or MySpace or whatever was going on back then. But I had been featured in one episode as having lived out of my car because at the time I lived out of my car. And I was just, like I said, I wanted to dance. So I was refusing to go home to live with my parents. I was refusing to go back to full-time college. And I had my dad put in a rack in the backseat of my car for all my clothes. I had an adapter plug for my printer and my laptop because I would print my resumes and my photos for my headshots. I would print all of that for auditions out of my car. So I had shoes, everything. And I'm not going to lie, I slept in there a few times, but I would bounce around from people's couches using their showers and all of that. So, and I couldn't even give people rides. That's the other thing. It's like, sorry, we can't ride to the audition together because that's my closet. So this is how I lived my life for quite a while at that time. And so naturally, this is a reality show. They want all the juice. So they did a whole feature on me for this one episode. And the feedback that I got from the fans watching the show, this is what made me realize there is more to being put on display than I thought, right? I had people saying, oh my God, I used to live out of my car, and seeing me do what I'm doing from living out of my car was a huge inspiration for a lot of people. I will never forget the one that says, this saved my life. Like me sharing this saved their lives. So what that comes back around to for me is that I followed the path of joy. I wanted to dance. I wanted to get paid for dancing because that's all I wanted to do is just dance, dance, dance. So I went for it. I did what I had to do. I lived out of my car. I fought for my dream. And that showed up for someone else on their screen. They're watching this show, and that saves their life. Like they were going to give up. They were done. They didn't want to do anything. They were like, they lived out of their car and had just given up. And then seeing me change the directory of their life. Like that is my Dharma.
That's
so
beautiful.
I got to realize at that time that me bringing joy to the world, me doing my joy, living my joy is actually my Dharma. And that is how I can help people. So I do feel like I was living my Dharma, but then there comes a point when that changes, right? Like I am no longer doing that.
Time to
And
evolve, time to level up, right?
yep. So I don't feel like it is my Dharma anymore. However, I still feel that my Dharma is about bringing joy.
I see
Beautiful.
that. I see that so many ways
Very
for you.
inspiring. Yeah.
Miss Dora, how about you? Your
Oh,
passion?
mine was just I just chose law as a career, right? So since I didn't have, I guess, a rich background to like go for law school, I chose to do paralegal studies at a college. That was when it was COVID, by the way, so it's mostly online. So I didn't feel like I was actually like in like, really interacting with students or anything. It was just me in front of a screen, right? Doing the assignments, going, being present online when the courses took place. And yeah, I'm like, okay, I chose career because I really want to make an impact, help people, right? Like be an advocate. So when I finished that, I joined a job, like, at a firm, right? And then like it was just not what I expected, not what I wanted, right? I'm like, I thought like I'll be making impact, like feeling good about helping people, but that was just the hierarchy. So I started off as a clerk, just like doing computer work, paperwork, whatever, and it was mainly the lawyers, right? So at first I didn't get to be a paralegal like that role. I started out off as a clerk, right? So that it's just a structure, like how the society is, like the norm. It's like we have to wait a bit to like keep moving up the ladder, right? The corporate ladder kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, after all, I'm just like, what am I doing here? Like, I really want to help people. And I had a lot of ideas in my head, I believe, because I did my BA was in social sciences, specialized in philosophy. So I love it reading books, like taking notes of ideas, quotes from influential thinkers throughout the centuries and everything. So I was more of that kind of person. I'd rather read a book and take notes and just yeah, read books, take notes and stuff, rather than working in an office environment. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm like. After a while, I stopped reading books, and I was just like kind of depressed in a way. My family, it was my mom asked me like, what happened? Like, I don't see you reading books anymore. Like, you're not, and that really got to me. And I'm like, I started tearing up. It's like, yeah, I'm not myself anymore. Like, I'm just like working the office, feeling always because I'm like, I was expecting like to get promoted, but the management was just, I don't know, like it's just I couldn't figure out what was going on. So then it was up to me to decide like I'm gonna leave the place, right? And then just a mix of circumstances, everything just kind of just got together, and I'm like, and I'm here right now. I joined the Dharma Coaching Institute, met beautiful souls, you guys, and I'm like, you know what? This is my Dharma. I'm meant to like bring my ideas to reality, like whatever I have in my head. So like just that's my Dharma. Hoping to create a lot of impact in the world.
So it was actually like you went into this job expecting to serve as your Dharma.
But it wasn't.
And when that wasn't really happening, and your key to realizing you're not in alignment with your Dharma is when you realized you weren't being yourself anymore.
Yes. And also like, well, I was more than an advocate, by the way, as well. So even if I did take on the paralegal role, I'll still feel empty because I'm more of a visionary and a teacher than an advocate. Well, advocate too. So I'm kind of like just everything, combined, but more of a visionary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't align, and you made a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I see too, like with all of our journeys, like we have this core value that aligns us three together, but we're all on such different paths to and with our Dharma.
Yeah. We all have a different, it's like we all come from out of the same building or walking towards the same building, but we're all walking it in a different path. Like if you think about it, it's like three separate paths, and it's it's just like a bright reminder, like no matter which way you take, when your soul aligns or finds its soul tribe, you're gonna end up at the same end, but it's whose hand you're holding on the different path that takes you, because it's not really about the destination, it's more of the journey. It's how you get there, how you keep each other accountable, like that person's life you save. And but there are like your mom noticing things are not working for you, you've changed, that's a core interest. Like people are alert of that. And I guess with me, and I didn't even realize until I heard you guys that I didn't tell anybody. I haven't told anybody. I would tell people I was unhappy, but they're like, you make such good money, you're doing such a good thing. But I never really spoke what I speak with you guys. Like, this shit's bullshit. Like, and I was so afraid to say something because you just are afraid everybody's like, but you're making such good money, you're such a good job, you did all this like that. And then it's like, then I have you guys who hear me, and it's like, yeah, we get it. It's okay. You don't have to explain more than 2 seconds. We get it. You're frustrated. And it's like, okay, now I found people to hold my hand as I'm
I think that's normal for people like tell us like, oh, well, you're making great money. What's the problem? But am I like aligned with my soul purpose? No, right?
Some people don't want to think of that. And I think it's beautiful that we're all going to bring it to them in different ways.
Yeah. And I feel that comes right back to the values. If your values were making money, then yeah, doing a great job. But that is a part of living in society. Yes. And I personally, for me, feel that my Dharma is something that will allow me to live in this society as long as I'm doing it, which is why I followed my heart with my career, because that's where I felt like I would have the most impact, and I want to be supported by doing my Dharma. So I do feel, like you said, I agree with us all having unique paths. That's like, Dharma is your unique way to serve. So it is service, and it is also still very unique to each person, and all of our paths are going to be different. But yeah, we're ending up together at the collective.
The collective. That's a big, beautiful golden building.
I love that. Yeah. And then Dharma, your Dharma, like I said, I do feel mine is still the same. It's been a common thread throughout my life. And as I change and grow, the way my Dharma is expressed also changes. So it's still the same, and yet the way it looks is different, because now, rather than just showing my Dharma and allowing people to absorb joy through me and through my experiences, that, may inform how they live their lives or give them the courage to keep moving or make different choices, I now get to also speak with people, to step in and reflect their lives to them and help them find new ways and guide them on new paths. And that is one part of it that I really, really enjoy as service. So I'm not being on display myself anymore. I'm not the one on the stage, but I get to help guide and direct other people in their own Dharma.
You do, and I can honestly say you've been doing that with me. You've been helping me take off the pretty mask every time I put them on and let me be raw and authentic no matter what I do.
Mm.
And you have brought, and I might cry because I'm just like that. But both of you have brought like different parts to me, and I feel like we have that to offer. Like I know mine is like speaking your truth, and it's hard. It's hard to speak your truth. It's hard to be okay and accepted to speak your truth. And so you play a big part in all of mine. Like, and there you do too. Like you always encourage me, tell me I'm doing great, I'm on the right path. And I'm so like, well, double check my videos and like make sure they make sense and make sure my face is okay, because I worry about those things still. Even though I know my purpose. It's okay to like put the bright lipstick on, or it's okay to like tie my hair up or cut my hair. She gave me so much encouragement for that. And that lets me take off that mask that I've been wearing. And it's like, no, I'm okay. Thanks. Keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
You got each other, right? All three of us.
I can't wait to see how many more we can grab on these different paths, because we come from different paths, so we can align with other people that might be walking a similar path with us and help them jump aboard to this bright gold building.
Yeah. And even though you may not have been in your Dharma previously, I still feel like as a part of your Dharma now, you can incorporate that in lessons learned and the way that you serve now.
Yeah. Definitely. Like I see patients daily and I'm like, well, you don't have to take that. There's this way of doing it. There's a holistic way. Just try talking. Have you listened to this music? And like people look at me and they're like, I want to go talk to Gia. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that today. Like it comes to that point. I'm like, no. Like I get it. This is therapy for you guys. I appreciate it. But like I can't see you 3 times a week. Not at work. Like we only get like a half an hour together.
So
Oh my
glad to
God.
hear it.
It's funny,
Yeah.
but it's cute. It's loving, and I so heartily believe like with our different dynamics, we're speaking to people in similar dynamic. And I say that with so much like Mathura, with our age difference, you get to help those who are trying to find their voice at home.
Mhm.
And honestly, you get to show us what it's like to have someone, even though it's not like doing the most, it's still having that little bit of help that gives you that extra 10 minutes to like
Mhm.
sit down and chat and have to be there a good friend for me when I'm having a meltdown. And then for me, I guess I could speak to people and say it's okay to be the breadwinner and still try and live your soul. Just so many different things we can offer
As
being in
quantum
service.
as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's speaking to the different walks of life, right? Like
Yeah.
in all different places. Honestly, looking back like 10 years ago, say, I think that's about my age difference with you, Matora.
Mhm.
Um, I
Around
might
there.
even say before, just because if it were before I had kids. Though I do feel that I was in a good space of living my Dharma, I did not have this mindset. Because I'm looking back at it now, knowing, okay, yeah, you were doing that. That was great. And yes, when I got those messages, like knowing that I helped someone, that felt so good. And I can even feel that in my heart right now. And that is how I know that I was living my Dharma. And that definitely pushed me into wanting to keep dancing, to keep showing up and being on stage and being in front of people because of that feeling, because of the joy that it brought to their faces and how it felt for me. So I still feel that coming from this space now, if I had had that earlier, the impact and like the awareness of just moving with that energy would have possibly completely changed my directory like and the amount of people impacted by me. I still feel everything happened as it was meant to, but in your space now, how do you feel about the fact that you get to actually implement these ideas and the concept of living your dharma before you settle down with children? I don't even like the word settle down, but before you create
Before you bring
your
life into this world.
life
Mhm.
with a partner
I
and
feel
children.
I feel blessed. Feel blessed, grateful for, to God. It's just my connection to God nowadays, because a lot of times I feel myself like I'm alone. People don't get like really understand me. And I just come back to me and God, right? Connection that I have with God. And I'm hopeful. That's what brings me hope. To just spread love as much as I can, and compassion. It's all about love and compassion for me. So even if someone doesn't understand me, or they're that situation where they can't show compassion for themselves, I try to I try to be there for them, right? And show that compassion and forgiveness.
And I mean,
To
you're
remind.
really lucky too, in a sense. Not to say lucky is the right word, like blessed, because you said blessed. Like you get to be home, right? Like with your parents. Like,
There will be arguments, but I just try to maintain my.
well, no, I mean, like if, like she said, 10 odd years ago for Amsa, I guess 10 odd years for me too, before having kids. Kid. If I had that, if I had that backup and didn't have to be on my own, I think
Mhm.
having a home setting where I could have pursued what I enjoyed would have shifted me a little. Maybe I would have been a little ahead of the game and not wearing so many masks.
That's true.
But like I'm grateful for you to have this experience with your parents and like being there. I think that's an amazing opportunity for you too. And I know you're grateful for it. So like definitely like shedding light on that.
Yeah. It also gives you that unique ability to be able to help others in your situation who are, yes, being supported and need to advocate for themselves and for their dharma, where they know what they need to do to bring themselves into alignment. And they may not have that type of support. They may have physical support and monetary support, but they don't have that backup in like, this is what you want to build. Got you. Well, how do you move forward from there? Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had that. My parents supported me, but we didn't have the monetary funds to also put me in a in a place with a roof over my head, right? But my dad helped me build that rack in the back of my car. So they supported me fighting for my dream. And if I had to, honestly, it wasn't that far. My parents lived in Riverside County. I could have drove home. The difference is because I was fighting so hard that I was going to 3 auditions a day and there was no time to drive home. Also, gas money, hey, okay. I wasn't going to drive all the way back to my parents' house to sleep for a couple hours and have to drive back again the next day. So
perseverance.
yes,
Yeah,
perseverance.
it was great for you in that way.
Yes.
But I had the support. So
And
there's
I
the
didn't.
difference.
So I appreciate seeing that with you guys. Like I've been on my own. My God, I don't even want to say how many years because people figure out my age, but I'm joking. I've been on my own since before I was technically legal in so many senses. Yes, I went home at periodic times, but I couldn't breathe. I couldn't live up to the expectation. I couldn't keep the mask on. And not that they judged me and expected me to, it's just what they were used to with me. And my Dharma didn't allow me to breathe. It started suffocating me in a sense with my mask. So being on my own, especially with your age, prior to having a kid, was the best solution. Being a breadwinner for myself was always the best solution because I walked to my own beat of the drum. It was always the best way. It was like no mask was needed in my house. I just got to do what the heck I wanted to do and go where I wanted to and speak my mind. And if you didn't like it, I went home by myself. So I didn't really care who's to it.
Yeah. So it sounds like what you're saying is not being alignment, having to wear a mask it can make you feel suffocating, especially if you do it when you're doing it for a very, very long time. Little bit of time with the exit strategy and you're like, this is going to end. Okay. But when it's long term, so if any of you out there listening are in this situation where you're just feeling suffocated and like you have to pretend you're wearing a mask or you're not doing something that makes you feel good, brings joy, or feels like it's what you're meant to do here, even if you don't know what it is that you're meant to do, that is a sign that you are not living your Dharma. Whether you believe Dharma is service or your unique way to serve, Dharma is Dharma and it's yours and you know it in your heart, even if you don't know it in your mind. But
your body reacts.
Your body will know that this is not your Dharma if that's what you're in and you're feeling suffocated or stuck or anything like that. So first step, awareness, check that box. Like, I feel suffocated. This is not where I'm meant to be.
And it can also mean perseverance, that you want more for yourself, that you're willing to do the extreme, even though going home or being home is great. You can have all the support, but the perseverance to strive to get there. And even living at home, giving a chance and having the support, even if there's small disagreements, it's still okay to find your voice. It's okay to know your truth.
Yeah. And fight for what you want. Right?
Yeah. So if you feel stuck, don't know where you're going or what you're supposed to do, or you do know what you're supposed to do and don't know how you're going to get there, that is a great time for you to find a coach, a Dharma coach, a life purpose coach. Good thing you found this podcast.
I mean, you just got three of us here who are on our alignment and service purpose. So there's three different paths, and maybe you align with two of us, or one of us, or all three of us. You just never know.
Either way, we are here to serve you.
We're here to
And
hold your hand.
I want to hold your hand. How you serve the world is not necessarily about your job, but it's how you show up in whatever you do. I am Amsa, a joy coach.
I am Gia, an Ayurvedic life coach who uses my human design and astrology to not wear my mask.
Thank you again for listening. Subscribe and stay up to date with new episodes. We would love to hear from you and even help guide you on your path. You will see how to contact us in the notes for each episode, or simply leave a comment. Wishing you many blessings and a life lived with purpose.